this. So welcome everyone to Let the Healer Rise. I'm Catherine Bird, and I'm going to flip on the slides here, and so we can, all right, here we go. It should work this time. So let the healer rise. And making sure that we are recording, and off we go. Okay, so this is a roadmap for rising. And how are we going to all move into those spaces where we still have the little places where we're doubting and we have fear and lack of understanding, and we have certain blocks and beliefs that are holding us back from this very true, most authentic expression of who we are, how we can be more effective and sustainable and have a sense of integrated mastery in our lives. And we all have these little things, right? This is subtle, so we're moving to the next level because this helps us to be doing our work with more confidence and a bigger impact, and doing our work for ourselves too. So working on ourselves. We're talking about working on ourselves and also holding space for working with others. So just hang out here with me today. It's going to be super fun. And then make sure that you also are going to stick around for the bonuses and the stuff at the end. I have something new for you guys that nobody's ever done before. And just requesting your presence, if you can kind of shut other things off and pay attention here and just drop in and give some attention, because I hope that the things that I'm going to be talking about are going to give you some inquiry into some ways that you can start to think about where you might be having a lack of understanding that is keeping you from taking your work and being more expressed at the next level. So just where we're starting is, if any of these spaces sound familiar, that there is this new work rising up inside of me, and I'm not quite sure what to do with that. Or, how do I know if I'm safe going into the realms that I'm going? Or how do I know I'm a healer, right? I've gotten that message. I know it's there. I know that's the thing, but I have these blocks and doubts about what I'm doing. Anybody have that? Give me a yes in the chat, or just kind of a little smiley face or frowny face or whatever. I'm taking on too much from others still, or I am questioning and doubting if what I'm experiencing, if the messages I'm receiving, if what I'm bringing through, if what's coming to me is real. Maybe even in inquiry with maybe I'm a little bit crazy here. Maybe this is just, I've lost my friggin' mind. Okay. Or the question is, how can I manage my energy while doing the thing that I seem to be here to do? How can I take care of myself and live my life and have my family and do these things and not be taken out? And then this question of, wow, I'm realizing that I'm powerful, but I don't exactly know what to do with that. Right. And that maybe we feel like we're not going to fit in. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So maybe you feel like there's still aspects of yourself that you need to confront and heal. Maybe I'm not quite there yet because I still have these issues. I still have these things I'm working on. I haven't quite figured out this. And then I think it's also really important to be feeling into, I'm committed to learning how to master my craft and take this to the next level so I can serve big. Is that you? Are you ready for that? And being aware that you have important work, that there's this driving force internally, that there's some soul level, heart level, thrusting forward energy that despite all of these other things that are coming up, it's still there. You can't make it go away. You've maybe tried to make it go away, but you just can't. What are you going to do, right? So if you're ready to take action, live on purpose, be here now, do the things, you're in the right place. I got you. So let's talk about, well, who am I? If you don't know me, I'm Catherine Bird, and I'm a shamanic channel. I am a Chinese energetic medicine practitioner. I'm a coach, a healer, a mentor. I've been training healers, coaches, channels, empaths, entrepreneurs, all kinds of people for a really long time. And I support people as they go through spiritual awakenings, and especially cultivation of gifts and healing skills and channeling abilities, and bringing their magic and gifts to the world in different kinds of ways. And why am I, besides all that, why me? So one reason is that my spiritual awakening and becoming a healer was really an intense, strange path. And I heard early on that I was a healer, and did not know what to do with that. It was really confusing, didn't make any sense. I had a lot of wounds. I felt like I was a super wounded person, and a lot of pain, and a lot of things to deal with. And so I went on this big journey of figuring that out. I didn't know how to work with my gifts. I didn't understand them. I then began doing healing work and training and studying and doing modalities. And then I hid behind that for a really long time, different things that I was doing. Didn't want to be seen in real, authentic expression. Didn't want to be known. I felt really kind of broken and doubtful and scared, especially to be seen in like authentic expression and really in that vulnerable place. But I knew that I was supposed to do this. I had been getting messages about it, and I decided to just train, keep saying yes, keep moving forward, study with teachers, mentors, keep developing, keep confronting myself, keep confronting my wounds. And over these years, I found my voice and my work. And one of the biggest aspects of my work is supporting healers and coaches and those magic people, you basically, magic people who are rising to the next level of who you are. So I want you just to just imagine that there is this stream of confidence that's flowing toward you. And it is a confidence in your work, in your expression, in your ability to be present with all aspects of yourself, and to allow that to be seen, to know how to express it in a very grounded way, to be able to handle anything that comes up, whether you're working with yourself and healing things for yourself or with other people, and doing deeper, more effective work in the world, or if you're just kind of going into your own process, that you can really go into it more deeply. And if you are working with people, to be able to charge more and to get more clients, to have more clarity, to have more ease of being able to talk about what you do, for being able to understand yourself. So to move past all the sneaky, they're very subtle, sneaky little layers of programs and doubts and stuff. Like, that would be awesome. This would be awesome. Yes? Anybody a yes to this? Like, this is what we're going for here, people. So I started to question, like, why aren't healers rising? What are we missing? What do we need to be focusing on? What's the deal here? Where are we getting stuck? And I came up with, we're often just in this level of misunderstanding. We're not understanding ourselves. We're not understanding our tools. We're not understanding energy and spirit. And then we also don't feel like we really have a true roadmap for healing. So I want to really break these down, because it's just a lack of awareness and self-mastery. So let's break these down further. Let's take these to the next place. So if we look at how we're not understanding ourself, that's our authentic work, our unique codes, what we are here to do, our unique soul expression, not understanding our internal blocks and beliefs, the things we've picked up from our childhood, and our past lives and so on, and a lack of integrated living, that we are fully living an integrated life of true understanding of ourselves and being that expression in the world. So, you have work that's authentic. to you. And this is often the most challenging work that we can imagine, right? Because it is coming from a place that is raw and vulnerable. It's open, it's present, it's stripped down to our essentials, basically. It's channeled and it's connected to our deepest truths. And it arises often from our most joyful, childlike nature. So anything that stands in our way of accessing those frequencies of what it means to be in that kind of expression is keeping us from being that. And then a lot of times we try to kind of put modalities or trainings or teachings on top of that stuff instead of digging up underneath what's really keeping us from being that authentic expression from who we are internally. So this really requires a deep inquiry and reflection, going into our wounds and looking at the fears and the blocks that we have, the stuff from other lifetimes, from our childhood, from the stuff that's keeping us hidden. And it requires working with, I believe, understanding, embracing, healing our healer archetypes. And if you guys were paying attention to the 4 masterclass series, this was one of our masterclasses was on healer archetypes. So I hope that you saw that, or you're going to go back to it. So we hide behind these other modalities. We hide behind business structure so that we can work in the field, but not actually do the next level of work that we're capable of, right? So we might be doing therapeutic work or some kind of coaching work or even hands-on healing work, but there's this new thing that's like, come on. We're afraid if we come out of the closet, if we're fully seen, if we let it all out, we're going to lose other people. We're going to lose clients. We're going to lose followers. We're going to lose family. We're going to lose friends. And so within that, we choose to hide from ourselves. And that's painful. It can create all kinds of internal issues, illness even, false starts, lack of drive and confidence, lack of success, or building something that's maybe successful and then just feeling empty about it. So we avoid being fully integrated and expressed. We are trying to stay safe, and yet we always feel a little bit off. So we can't be fully rising, right? We avoid what is going to support us the most, and we avoid our own healing. We avoid grounding. We avoid sourcing ourselves because we know that if we do these things, it is going to activate our authentic expression. And that is going to thrust us into the place where we have these fears and doubts and blocks. So we have to deal with the fears and doubts and blocks so that we can do the work. Then we can be expressed, authentic, and self-aware. But then what we really do is we allow our ego to hold us into old identities, right? Instead of cycling into a new possibility. We allow ourselves to hold on to what was there because we're afraid of what's next. We're afraid of what could be coming through us. And we allow these wounds and identities to run our lives instead of learning from them, using them as our teacher, healing those wounds and transcending the stories. And because of this, we don't have a full comprehension of our work. So we don't know how to describe it. We don't know what it does really. We don't know what we do. And so we avoid marketing. We avoid sales. We avoid building the website. We avoid asking for money. We don't fully understand ourselves and we negate our worth. We don't see the value in who we are because we haven't gone inward enough. Anybody resonating with a little bit of this? Does this make sense out there? Okay, cool. Good. So the key to this piece is the deep inquiry, right? The constantly asking, what am I choosing to avoid in order to be safe? What am I afraid of losing by being more of myself. And what was I taught about myself as a child that is keeping me from being seen, from being in this experience? And also, we need to be moving energy, emotions, beliefs. And I believe through physical practice, we need to be moving energy, emotions, and beliefs and uncovering those beliefs, because those beliefs are super sticky and they're really subtle. And sometimes they're not from this life. Sometimes they're connected to those archetypal energies I was talking about. Sometimes they're things we've inherited, things we came in with. And in this, we get to start to claim our work and get to the root of the soul's code. Does this resonate with you? You know, there's no moving forward without the next level of mastery, really. We might think it's like, oh, I need to hire a business coach to help me with my copy. But, you know, I tell you, I've met so many people who cannot even approach copy because they don't really understand what this next level of who they are that is coming through. And you could, and I've been there where I can sit down and write someone's copy out and they will never use it because of the underlying fear of really being seen and seeing worth and seeing value in what it is that you do. Right? Anybody been there? Anybody had like, wow, that's amazing copy. That's exactly what I do. And I think I'll just sit on that for the next year and not do anything with it. It's okay. It's okay. So the other thing what we're not understanding, I think, are that we're not understanding our tools. These are our natural gifts and expressions, the processes of cleansing and purification, and why we do what we do, when we do it, how we do it, right? We're kind of flummoxed by the ins and outs of our tool set. Like, what is in my tool set? And it's either because we've trained in all these things and we have so many tools that we either discount them and we're kind of unaware of them, or we have these natural gifts, but we doubt them and we don't know what to do with them. So, you know, these are tools that are natural gifts, but they're also these intelligent practices and tools that have been used by other people and are really good. And a lot of times we have these skills and gifts, but we deny them. We don't want the power. We don't want to be too much, too special, too powerful, or whatever this thing is to own our gifts. Who has that one? Yeah, is that you? I don't want to be too powerful. I mean, have you ever felt an unexplainable association to having too much power, or hurting someone, or being hurt yourself, or condemned, or taken out for being different? This is one of the core wounds of the healer, and one that I've almost seen across the board. There isn't one that doesn't have it, right? Right. So we've got it. We've all got it. We've all got this one. So we're unsure how to use the gifts. They're emerging, and we don't know if they're safe or not. We don't know how exactly to use them. Or we start using them in really unhealthy ways, with lack of boundaries, without sourcing ourselves, without clearing practices. We don't clean up our space. We don't take care of ourselves. Our self-care sucks. Or we start blowing out our system by doing too much, too fast, too soon, not having the proper protocols, not having the proper practices to support that kind of, like, some of you are upgrading so fast that the energy that's moving through you, if you're not working with it on a regular basis, and then you go into a healing session, or you even just working on yourself, it can blow you out, and it can blow out the person you're working with. So we start doing sessions that are too long, too deep, charge too little, get burnt out. We don't understand how to ground and center and help people to integrate what's going on, help them to integrate their awakening. And then we start taking on other people's pain and their karma, and to stuck in this kind of wounded healer space and not take a part in our own healing process, in the healing process of that. Right. So we get scared because someone tells us something like, right, don't give away your keys, don't give away too much of this stuff. And yeah, some stuff is private, some stuff is personal, and some stuff's meant to be shared. And that takes a level of discernment and understanding. So what's the key to this one and understanding these tools is developing the natural gifts, like understanding that there are certain things that you are going to be more naturally inclined toward that are the things that you can develop more easily. Stop comparing yourself to other people and what their things are, and creating the conditions for yourself to feel shame and unworthiness and to feel bad about yourself because this is how you show up. And that's really important. And then understanding like protocols of how you work, of how you use the tools that you have so that you're not overdoing them or underdoing them or whatever the case may be. And then learning the new tools that work and the tools that fit with you. So some people work in some realms more energetically, some work in more spiritual realms, some work in more of the emotional body, and starting to understand this is how my system works. It's more, working with the hands. It's more working in this level. I'm going to lean into this. I'm going to move in this direction. And starting to develop those natural gifts, but then what are the tools? What are the spiritual, energetic, physical, emotional tools that actually support you in that process? And what are the specific self-care rituals and tools that you need in order to step into that more fully? Yeah. Because this is like this is not a one size fits all. And I'm really sick of all the modalities out there that want to treat us like we're all the same. We're not. We're never. It's going to be different for every single one of you. So we're just setting ourselves up for shame and ruin because we come from a standardized test reality in this world where we're trying to live up to a certain thing that's we don't even know what that is, right? Our imagined perception of what this means to be a healer, our imagined perception of what it means to have gifts, our imagined perception of what these gifts do and what they're for. Yeah. Has anybody done this and totally like been on Facebook looking at other people and been like, oh, they're so magical and they're so special. I'm out. I'm not even going to talk about what I do today. I'm going to go eat ice cream. Screw it. Yeah, does this make sense? So when we're called to higher work, we need to understand our tools. We need to develop them, and we need to develop new tools so that we can be comfortable in the expression of the tools that we have. And we need to uncover the blocks and the wounds and the things around the tools that we do have so that the things that are natural to us, we actually allow them to emerge more and we allow them to become more present out into the world. Yeah. So here we go. The other place where we're often getting stuck is that we're not in full understanding of energy and spirit. So our personal practice, our own personal mastery, awareness of the spiritual realms, and safety. So here's places where we often stop ourselves. We stop ourselves from stepping into the next level of our work because of these pieces. We don't have the personal practice to get us there. We don't have a sense of mastery, an awareness of our own mastery. We're afraid of, don't understand, or are confused by, or questioning, super doubtful of what's happening in the spiritual realms, the energetic realms. And then we come across a lot of stuff on not feeling safe because stuff starts to happen and we're like, is this a thing? I don't know. I don't really quite feel safe here. If we don't live in a dedicated presence of an evolving spiritual energetic practice, we can really mess ourselves up. Or if we start to, basically we do practices that aren't serving the true nature of our path. We sort of start looking at it as from a one-size-fits-all mindset, and we're doing maybe yoga or whatever, but it's not really the practices that are meant for us. It's not the practices that are meant for healers. It's not the practice that is like, this is the thing we should be working on in order to keep us sane and healthy and grounded in the reality of what we're doing when we are working in energy and we're working in the spiritual planes. And we're not learning how to use our own personal practice as the place that we work on ourselves and heal ourselves, because without that awareness of the way to go into the personal practice as your own personal healing modality, we're not able to deepen the work. We're not able to translate our work into how we are designed to help other people. This is so fucking key. I want you to hear it again. I don't know if I can say it in the exact same way, but if we're not working on ourselves in our own personal practice in a deep, exploratory, consistent, evolving way, utilizing intelligent practices that are designed toward healing work, then we are not going as deeply as we can into ourselves, and then we're not allowing ourselves to allow that to translate into the way that we're working with other people. Does that make sense? We're not engaging with the spiritual and energetic planes on a regular enough basis to clear our fields of the doubt that happens when we start to engage with our spiritual experiences. Because when we start to work with other people, our capacity to be aware expands exponentially. And then if we're not prepared for that, it can lead to this overwhelm of doubt or a inconsistent way of working with other people. So we're doing too much. We're not quite sure where to end and where to begin, and we get lost. We get lost in it. We start going too far, too fast, too soon, and we get lost in the experience because we're not training ourselves in our personal practice. We're not being consistent in understanding the process of healing and training ourselves in it. So, we forget that we're not alone. We don't call in spiritual support and help. We don't make declarations around what we're doing, why we're doing it. We don't set boundaries with the spiritual realms. We are over channeling. We're overdoing. We're sloppy. We get sloppy. Sloppy container, sloppy results. And that's just the way that it is. And we then are running that risk of taking on too much stuff from other people because we're not fully aware of the energy, the emotional bodies that we have. We're not aware of how they interact with the clients, and we're not aware of our own wounds and the driving factors and forces behind our actions and our reasons for doing this work, our reasons for being called to this work, that those reasons are not coming from the most highest, elevated, integrous, spiritual place, a place of virtue and light, because we're still in the space of creating our life from a wounded reality. Does that make sense? So the key number 3 is to really understand this energy and spirit, to do deeper study, deeper inquiry, to be developing energetic mastery, to commit to our practices, and to have practices that are specifically formulated to match the desired results and the work that we're doing. That these one-size-fits-all practices are not going to necessarily work for everyone. They're not. We have to understand the way that we individually communicate, that we communicate with energy, with spirit, that we feel, that we understand, that we know, we start to understand how we are tapping in to the information, and that it is a unique process for us. And that process is brought through our own personal practice. It's brought through our own personal work on ourselves, on our own energy bodies, on our own connection to the spiritual planes. And we have to have the tools for this safe container, for our work to be safe and held, because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of spiritual stuff that's happening. And we have to have a safe container. And in that, we get to clear doubt. So does this make sense that we need to have specific tools and specific practices that support us as healers and spiritual warriors? Yeah? Anybody on board with that? And then we also have no roadmap for healing. We're just like, okay, I'm just doing the thing, but I don't know. This is the big one. We don't have the map. We're called to do the deeper work. We feel it. It's right there at the surface. The energy's changing. Our awareness is deep. We're not sure exactly what's the beginning, the middle, the end of all of this whole thing. How do we map this thing out? So we're stuck. We don't know how to describe what we do. We don't know what its value is. We don't know what we're worth, because we can't translate it. We're stuck in the translation. So we doubt, we deny, we run around with the stories in our heads instead of following the calling of our heart and our soul. And we know we have all these tools. We've learned these modalities. We've learned these things, and we don't know how to stick them together. We're like, well, I did this training and this thing, and it's just like this sloppy little mess. And it doesn't actually come into a real integrated piece of work where I can claim, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and this is what effect it has. And this is what really keeps people held back, because without this, fuck all charging money, right? Just don't even bother. Don't even fucking bother, because it's not going to make sense. If you don't know what you're doing here, then no one else is going to know what you're doing here either. You can have the biggest calling in the world to be like, I'm a healer or whatever, but if you don't have this self-awareness and these pieces all mapped out, it's like the other stuff isn't going to stick. It's just going to be a mess, right? So we can be doing modalities. We can be practicing them. We can be actually working on a regular basis and putting our energy and our intention and doing Facebook ads to get our work out there, and having a modality or whatever that we're actually practicing. But if we're stuck in our personal practice and the practices that we've learned are not actually supporting us in the specific kind of work that we're supposed to do, and if they're not helping us really go into these deeper wounds and clear and upgrade our energy, well, simply we're not doing our work. And if we're not doing our work, we're not doing our work. Yeah? We know this, and we see our people struggle with this. So the only way that we can help our people go through this process and understand this process and move through their wounds, their doubt, their shame, their fear, their internal blocks, their traumas, all of these things, is for us to understand it on a true core level for ourselves. That is the way that we can really rise. Yeah. I mean, what's coming through you is powerful, unique, it's wise, and yet it must be nurtured and protected and brought through in a container that you can create, which can support it. So, okay, I'm going to give you a roadmap, all right? The roadmap for healing. Okay, so is it okay if I go ahead? Have you guys like appreciated this? Can you start to see maybe some of the places where you're not rising to the next level? Is there's some awareness of, oh, well, yeah, okay, it's my practice, and it's my beliefs and blocks and wounds and stuff from that, like my irrational fears that don't make any sense. Like, why would I be afraid that somebody's going to chop my head off? That doesn't make any sense. Why do I have that fear? Or is it in, well, I can feel all this energy and I don't know what to do with it, or maybe I'm taking on too much stuff from others. I don't have good boundaries. I'm unable to describe what it is that I do. I don't know how it is that I'm actually working on myself, so I'm not able to translate it. Okay, so you have an awareness that this stuff is going on for you. Great. So now we need this roadmap for healing. Is it okay? I'm going to give you information about my program that's coming up. I want you to just like really feel into these pieces, write these down. You can come back and watch this later, but write these down, these 3 or 4 places. So these 4 places where you can start to look at, where am I lacking? Where do I need to upgrade? And what am I willing to do to get there? So I'm going to tell you about my program that I have going on. Okay. And I'm going to address these issues. I'm going to give you a space to do this kind of work. So what I have been creating, mapping out, studying, working about, teaching for years now is called the Healer's Process. And I've been working on this for a long time, mastering this process so you can have a leg up in the game. And this is my course, which takes you through your own healing process and through a structured form that allows you to emerge in authentic expression. So if you want to understand yourself, understand your tools, understand spirit and energy, and understand the roadmap of healing, this is the place for you. And what I want to offer here is a roadmap to the healing process. And this is one that can take you through yourself, so you can use in session work. You can take that. You can take the tools, the techniques of the physical, energetic practices to develop confidence and clarity, power, precision, everything you really need in this work. So this course is really important to me because this is what I needed. I had to glue all this stuff together. I had to sit with this. I had to do so many places and practices and pulling all these pieces together and figuring this out. And I mean, this has been years, you guys. I needed to understand how to go into my deepest, darkest places and root out all my false beliefs, my ego, my traps, my wounds, the things that were really holding me back. And I needed to know how to know myself fully and how to navigate the magic emerging from within me and how to bring my work to the world in a way that supported me and my clients. And it took a while, and this is why I'm super crazy passionate about this, because this process is a complete system. It allows you to, it gives you the power to be yourself and embrace all of you are. And honestly, this is like the training. This is the training you've been waiting for. And I'm just going to claim it straight out because I've been doing this long enough to know that this program is super fucking powerful. I'm here to train and empower magic people. That's you, the empaths, the healers, all those on a big mission. And we all need more tools. We all need more support here. And you are gifted. You're up-leveling. You're being asked more of. And you have a choice of whether you say yes to that. And you want your work to be in a new place. You want to go to the next level, and you're tired of being held back by all of this stuff that we've been talking about. And you want new tools and awareness of the path of healing. And so that's what this is about. Like, you are here to do this work. So here's a quick breakdown of the modules of this course. That's going to help you take this roadmap all the way from the doubt and the fear and the blocks and the bullshit to this authentic expression of who you are, being effective and sustainable in this integrated mastery that you are. And this course is a 3-month, 6-module course, all online. There is an optional 3-day retreat in California in December. Each module, but you can just do the course. It's set up this way so it stands alone. Each one has several teaching videos that are cut up so that it's easy to digest. There's powerful physical, energetic practice videos for every module that are specific for healers. You can watch and review it at any time. I have a lot of people who are like, I went back to Healer's Process, a year later, and it's saving my life. Because it keeps me sane, it keeps me grounded, it keeps me healthy. There's a great workbook, there's bonus study materials, prayers, meditation, stuff like that, Facebook group, community, my personal support inside the group. There's 6 group coaching calls. You can ask about anything you want. You want to talk about the healing process. You want to talk about what's coming up for you. You want to talk about what's coming up in the module. You want to talk about your business. Let's get into it and let's go there. I'm there for you. You can get some discounts on other products and stuff in the future and private coaching and so on. And just a breakdown of the modules here. The first module is the I am, and this is all about going inward into who you are, understanding your unique healing and integrated the healer archetypes, working on the soul level with soul contracts, past lives, irrational fears, developing sovereignty in your intentions, your commitments, your devotions, why you're doing this work. This is the stuff that's going to keep you moving forward over time. Understanding your energetic anatomy and developing energetic cultivation, building power, building your personal practice, getting that daily practice really going so that you can move past the resistance and fear and connection to yourself, your purpose, your path, everything that you really need. You know, you need this resiliency and this support for the long run so that you can do deep work, so that you can handle what's coming through you. If you don't have that, then there's like false starts, confusion, overwhelm, wasted time, you know, dissatisfaction with your work overall. This is going to ground you into yourself. It's going to give you more personal power, more resiliency. It's a really great personal practice inside of this. It's going to be the cornerstone of your healing practice, I know. And you can't skip these important steps of what it means to you to do this. And next we move from that like center core, central channel of light space. We start moving out into the field, into module 2, into building the field. We start connecting to source, light, earth, power. We're building our personal power and resiliency, understanding our energy bodies and maintenance, healing our childhood wounds. Wouldn't that be nice? Building and maintaining our boundaries and grounding. And again, this is through physical, energetic practice, plus inquiry work, plus a lot of journaling, reading, so much. It's understanding how we begin to interact with energy and the world. And it doesn't matter how good your modality is. It doesn't matter what you've been trained in. If your boundaries are shit, your practice is shit. If you don't have a protective field that is really sourcing you, then you are not going to be resilient enough to do the work. And this is like how you are interacting with anyone and everyone when you're when you're holding on to things, and so that you can have a higher level of health and resiliency as you move on and do this work. You're going to come against resistance, right? You're going to need to understand how to live with more energy, higher health, more power. And this module really helps you do that and understand those places where we're really sabotaging ourselves and don't know it. Then we're going to move into cleansing and purification. This is just a cornerstone of any healing practice, what it is, why it's important, super practical, real world techniques, lots of systems and modalities for you, your space, your clients, your tools. You're going to develop clarity and discernment. You're going to become more pure through this process. And this can be so misunderstood. And this creates a radical shift and upgrade in your work and your work with yourself to start to understand these concepts. Things start to become more clear in all areas of your life. And I mean, we go into all areas of your life in this module and start to clean out the mess. We are building on the other 2 modules, and then we're taking our work to the next level, and we start to understand, how do we use this work in our healing sessions specifically? How does this serve our work? Module 4, we hang out in the sacred container, learning about energies that are supporting us, learn about how to successfully open and close a space for healing, meditation, or channeling work that is safe. Working with guides, directions, energetics, and tools, feeling guided, protected, and assisted, and build functional invocations for spiritual support, because we're working in the energetic planes. We're also working in the spiritual realms. So this is going to really support you, especially if you're doing any kind of ceremonial or ritual work. This is so important. This is so necessary. You have to have this work. We again are building, every module is building one onto the other. And when we have this, then we are able to be clear and present and capable enough to do the true body of your work. Your authentic work starts to be able to open and expand and move through you. And in the next module, we move into the work and we look at channeling and mediumship practice and working with spirits and healing, working with other beings and elements and trees and more. Who are you connected to? And then how do you actually work with them? How does the work move through you? What's the authentic expression of you? Safety, protection, discernment, practical techniques. We keep up-leveling our energetic mastery through here, working on ourselves, healing ourselves, understanding our gifts. Yeah? Does it sound amazing? As I say it, I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I've been working on a book about this, you guys, and I'm almost, it's in editing right now, so it's very close to be done. But I'm so passionate about this work. You can't even know. I'm so happy to be running this course again. So in the last module, we're going into integration. And really, this is the thing we always forget. And this is like weaving it into our lives, working with clients, working with out in the world. How do we hold this space? How do we shift our current work? Oh, well, I've been doing this and I've been charging this, but now, oh, it's this. Let's do this. Okay, okay, what do I need to do to be able to do that? How do we support ourselves? And how do we support other people through integration process? What do we do in healing crisis? What do we do in certain situations when certain kinds of things start to come up? And how do we just keep building our field? How do we keep working in this way, right? So this is the course, and this is my big offering, you guys. This program works because, and I have this spiral here because we're building this spiral. All of these modules are on a spiral, and we start to understand I need to go here and back to here and then over to here. So we're understanding on a core level how we go through the healing process, when we need to go to one place, when we need to go to another place. What are we working on now? What am I calling in and bringing in now that's going to support this? And not to get lost in our work, because here's the thing. Being a healer can be immersive. If we're really tapped, really tuned, really open, present, vulnerable, completely channeling our experience, it can be so open, so profound, so deep that we can get lost unless we have a really clear roadmap. And that's what this is. So then we can expand, we can grow, we can go there. So this isn't just theory. This is there's a lot of powerful physical energetic practices. And if you do the practices, you will feel different. And this encourages your expression. I'm here to encourage your expression. This is not about, I have this modality and I want you to learn it and then use my name on your friggin' website and give me credit because I created a modality. This is bullshit. I'm so sick of this systematic approach to healing. Like, this supports any modality. So whatever modality you're doing, coaching, therapy, hands-on healing, energetic healing, spiritual healing, ceremonial work, medicine work, whatever you're doing, this is going to support your modality. And I can help you figure out how it supports your modality, even if you're like, oh, well, wait, what about this part? Does that work with this? Yes, I can help to figure out and explain how this works. Yes. So here we go. Again, here's just another slide of all the things that you get in the course. It's going to be 3 months. So we're going to start September 28th, 10 days from now. And it's going to go until solstice, December. And the retreat is December 13, 14, 15 in California. And you're going to have teaching, practice videos, anytime you want, lifetime access as long as I exist. And I've been building on a new course platform this summer, which is epic. Everybody's loving it. Super easy to navigate it. Really great. So there's bonus stuff, study materials, writings that I give you from my book, prayers, meditations. The workbook is going to be epic. I'm redoing the workbook this year. Facebook community, people to see you and understand you, my own personal support in that group, 6 group coaching calls, ask whatever you want, get coached, and discounts. And of course, you can come to the retreat if you are inclined. So here's money, money, money. Yes, there's investment. The early bird price, which is until September 22nd at midnight, is under $1,000, so $997. And then the course in the retreat, early bird price, you can do that for under $2,000. And again, there's payment plans. So you can do this work for as little as $397 a month. And yeah, so all of this is on the website. I'm going to all panelists and attendees, I'm sending in the chat. There is the link, because if you want to join, I also have these other options that you can invest at a higher level and get more support. There's an option where you come and do the course. You do 3 sessions of mentorship private with me. There's so many numbers here, I don't want to say them all, but the early bird price for that is less than $2,000 by September 22nd. And you can do that for as little as $379 a month, because I've broken that down into 6-month option. And then there's also an option where you can do the course, the retreat, 4 sessions. So this is actually the best deal when you do it financially, if you do the numbers on it. And the early bird price for that is less than $3,000. And it is coming all the way down to $579 a month. So it's actually a really good deal. If you look at it, it's a great deal, because you get a lot of support. This is 3 months, so until the new year. So the new year is going to be ridiculous and amazing. And in this process, we can go over how you're working on your business, all different kinds of mentorship stuff that we can get into to help you take your work to the next level, understand what it is you're doing, understand what's coming up for you, and how it reflects on what it is you're here to do, how to translate that into copy, how to translate that into your website, how to make that work for you out there in the world. And if the first 3 people who sign up, so if this is like a fuck yes, and you're like, yes, I'm a yes, go sign up. And the first 3 people who sign up off of this webinar are going to get an extra private session with me. So that's just if you sign up off this webinar. And so if this is you, go to the link in the chat, and it's right here on the page. And then also anybody who signs up in the next 48 hours is going to get a class that I have called Calling in Spiritual Help for Your Work in the World. And this is about actually working with your guides to help you understand your work, and then call in your clients and call in the people who are like your soul level, most amazing clients. And I tell you this works. And I'll tell you, it works because for me, I've seen it where I have people who reach out to me and they're like, I was in this meditation, I was in this healing, I got this phrase, I Googled the phrase, there you were, I'm working with you. I have people who have seen my little face in their meditation, or has seen my face, has shown up, they didn't even know me, but they saw my face in medicine work, and then they're like, I'm there. So this works. And it's super fun, great meditation in this. So you also will get this if you sign up in the next 48 hours. And then, so that's what it looks like on the page that you're going to go to. There's all these options for different buttons and things to choose so that you can get the different payment plans, and you can go ahead and sign up. Okay. That's what it's going to look like. So some of the pieces are like, I'm not experienced enough, will I get it? Yeah, Yeah, this is going to be, it's an amazing education because this goes around whatever it is that you're doing. And especially if you're able to come to the retreat. At the retreat last year, I basically went through and demonstrated from beginning to end how I do a session on someone. And for an in-person session doing healing work. And I explained all of the pieces of where in the healer's process, all of these pieces land and how it works. So even if you're not at the moment working with other people, this is going to make sense for you. And I explain everything super well. And you might be wondering like, oh my gosh, am I really a healer? Well, what the heck are you doing here? You definitely are. And if you're trying to kid yourself and hide from yourself that you're not, like, I'm here to tell you that you are. And even if you're just working on healing yourself, this is going to support you a lot. It's a lot about working on you, about understanding yourself, about moving through whatever energies you've been holding on to, about holding yourself to a higher level of light and integrity out into the world of what it is you're doing. And then if you've done a lot of training, you know, how's this different? Well, like I said, this is really a support for whatever modalities it is that you have been working with and running. And this is going to help you to understand even more about you, about your personal way that you're engaging with your work and who you are as an expressed healer. So there it is, what you get, all the things. You heard it twice. I'm not going to say it again. That's just ridiculous. I'm going to go back and look a little bit at the chat here and just say hello to everyone who came to the live call. You're all amazing. So good to see some of you here again, and some of my favorite people are here. And right. So yeah, we're looking at how do we organize all of our work? How do we bring our work to the world, right? As what is some of the chats that we're getting in. And how do we work with, you know, what do we share and what do we not share, and finding that level of discernment of what it is that we're doing, and then being able to understand what we're bringing to the world. And yeah. So we're, so we're going to wrap up here. Let's see. I think I have a couple more slides. So just remember the bonuses, sign up, get a private session, and the first 3 people sign up in the next 48 hours. Go ahead and get that class, Calling in Spiritual Help for Your Work in the World. Super fun one. I like that one. And I just realized today that I had this class on my website and no one was buying it because the page had no option to buy it. So no one's actually done this class. So it's really cool. You're going to be the first people who get to do it if you sign up in the next couple of days. And remember that I'm going to stop the sharing, remember that all our early bird price is until September 22nd. And if you are interested in taking this journey with me, if you are feeling that spark of a yes inside of you, if you know this is for you, if you're a little on the fence, just either go ahead and go sign up right now. Just go do it. Or, you know, reach out to me, let me know where you're at, let me know what your questions are, your considerations, what's going on, how can I support you in making this decision, and how can I support you in, you know, discovering if this is truly what you're looking for. And I hope to see you there. This is my deep heart, soul level work, soul love work. So I just love sharing it so much. And I'm here to help the healers rise. So this is an important piece in my soul code. And I would love if you want to send me a message and let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling about this. If you sign up or don't sign up, either way. But what is it that you're feeling is rising within you? What is your soul calling out for? What is your code coming to fruition? Sometimes just by stating that to another human being, even if you haven't even stated it to yourself fully, or you maybe haven't said it out into the world, I'm totally willing to be that person for you. So I don't care if you're signing up for the course or not. I would love to hear that from you, because I think it's really important that we speak these things out into the world, out into the universe, out to each other, and we start to rise into who we are. And I just want to offer you all the blessings of all the divine beings. And I hope that you have a lovely, beautiful day and week. And I will talk to you soon. Many blessings, much love. Bye, everybody.